Welcome, viewers. For those of you who are new, this is what is known as the cold open. It's a little part of the show that's not really connected to the movie we're about to watch. It's an appetizer, an amuse-bouche, if you will.
If you will, I would never use that word.
We talk about whatever we feel like talking about, and sometimes we answer viewer questions. Clayton Kondo asks, what movie or actor do you think should never have won an Oscar? Well, I don't feel like beating the dead horse of Crash. So I'm going to say that I found A Beautiful Mind to be nothing but boring.
I thought Beautiful Mind was fine, but it didn't deserve to win Best Picture.
As so few of them have.
You only get the right answer once or twice a decade. Even when you get the right answer, when you get a Godfather 2, there's some Chinatown lurking behind it that you can argue is better than that. Maybe no one really deserves the Oscar.
Just don't give it to anybody?
No. You give it to somebody every year. They get it. We all know they don't deserve it. Of course, there's always the ones where the role is too small. Hannibal Lecter's, the Don Corleone's. They should have been supporting actors, but how do you make the Godfather the supporting actor of the Godfather? Even watching Silence of the Lambs, that Hannibal Lecter is only in 18 or 19 minutes of the movie, you feel as though he's in every single scene of the movie. Jodie Foster, amazing in the movie, but there's Hannibal Lecter looming over her the entire time.
In a way, he's looming over all of us.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a bunch of movies that I've never seen before. You don't know what they are. Every episode, I'm going to spring one on you. It might be good, it might be bad. We'll watch it and talk about it. Welcome to the basement. As we say goodbye to May and musicals, we say hello to June and cartoons. Tonight's movie mixes some live action along with the animation, but that's okay because the animation is provided by one of the greatest animators of all time. Today we are going to come to a complete stop as we enter the Phantom Tollbooth.
Okay.
Released in 1970, TPT was directed by Abe Levitow and Dave Monahan, with animation by Chuck Jones. It stars Butch Patrick, who most people remember as Eddie Munster, and voiceover legends June Foray, Hans Conried, and Mel Blanc. Hans Conried, as you know, has been on our show before in person. Now he's only there in voice. The film was actually made in 1967, but financial problems and changing management at MGM significantly delayed its release. Not long after the Phantom Tollbooth finally arrived in theaters, MGM permanently shuttered its animation studios. Based on the book of the same name by Norton Juster, the author had this to say of the film. It was a film I never liked. I don't think they did a good job on it. It was well reviewed, which also made me angry. Your gift will be given to you after we watch the movie. Gonna have to wait.
I'm gonna stay in this chair. You watch the movie by yourself. I'm just gonna sit here and wait for a gift.
But you can still see the TV from there. Toot toot! Pull up to the old leather couch and be sure to have exact change ready for the Phantom Tollbooth.
Toot toot? You think cars are tugboats?
The Phantom Tollbooth begins with a profoundly bored young man.
Milo is at school.
To the discovery of a man.
Boom. Oh. Somewhere in a theater in 1970, Burt Bacharach is sitting there thinking, did I write this?
Milo walks home through the streets of San Francisco.
And there's nothing to do.
Cheer up, kid. Just inherit your parents' house, wait out a few decades, and it'll be worth millions and millions of dollars because you live in San Francisco.
The kid's an after-school stevedore. He walks home from school, the long way.
What route does this kid take home from school? I'm gonna pass over Mount Rushmore now and climb down Lincoln's nose. He gets home and the phone's ringing.
It's his buddy Ralph.
Life is just so boring.
When I'm in school, all I want to do is be out. When I'm not in school,
all I'm doing is walking home or to school. It's a really long walk.
if only something could happen sometime.
Let's go down to the Castro and see a drag show.
Did you hear something?
Just your whining, Milo.
It sounded kind of like a bump, or like something heavy dropping.
Sounds like phantom doings. He sees something strange in his bedroom. To Milo, from Pennywise. He's supposed to pull this tab if he ever gets bored.
And
you are now the proud possessor of one genuine turnpike toll booth.
And you no longer have a soul. That belongs to me. Abracadabra. There's a little car for Milo to ride in.
Okay, I really wish he could say goodbye to Ralphie, because that's the type of thing that gets me tense for the entire movie. Ralphie is just sitting there, on the phone, waiting and wondering.
Hey, come through the toll booth.
All travelers must have a destination.
Might as well go there as anywhere. Castle in the air.
He's still bored.
By way of Dictionopolis, Digitopolis.
Dictionopolis? Digitop?
Hoopy Hoppy?
Look at that.
Welcome to the Cartoon June!
Don't think I don't see those jump cuts, movie. Because I do. Gotta go back and forth a couple times to verify. He drives through the toll booth and off to adventure.
This is crazy. Here I am.
Feeling something. On his way to Dictionopolis, he's pulled over by this fellow, Officer Short Shrift, who's a cop on the edge. He says, "You're guilty of something," and then he runs off.
Guilty, 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 guilty.
Catholic. If he was Protestant, he'd be shame, 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 shame. Expectations? I just have that written down.
All right.
Milo, won't you blow? Milo, won't you blow? Milo, won't you blow your horn? Next stop is the weatherman.
I'm the weatherman.
I blow up buildings to protest the Vietnam War.
The weatherman floats off. Milo hits the road again.
I'm going to relax a little during this drive and maybe even doze off. The car takes a wrong turn into the doldrums. That's a swampy area where thinking isn't allowed.
Then everything gets all squishy.
And these little snot balls tell Milo just that.
We are the lethargics. Laughing is against the law.
Okay, let's move along. Let's go to the next adventure.
If you can't laugh or think,
You must be me.
Why don't you just go to sleep, Milo?
Their sinister purpose emerges.
They want to eat him or something.
But luckily, a helpful watchdog comes along and saves Milo. His name is Talk, the watchdog. Yeah, boy!
Flavor Flav in the house!
And they're back on the road.
I don't just watch lethargians, I watch boys too.
I do. I watch boys a lot. You need a watchdog.
My friends call me Talk.
it's about time I had a friend.
What about Ralphie?
Talk sings a little song called Time is a Gift. Time should never be wasted.
Time is a gift.
Ticking away the moments that take up the dull day.
What country is it?
Well, it used to be called the Kingdom of Wisdom until the old king died.
Now it's called the Soviet Union.
The Kingdom of Wisdom has fallen, and now there's two separate cities.
Dictionopolis, the Kingdom of Words. The other side is Digitopolis, the Kingdom of Mathematics, ruled by the mathemagician.
They're brothers, and they don't like each other, because they think that their thing, either letters or numbers, is more important than the other guy's thing, either letters or numbers.
In the mountains of ignorance, the demons are gathering.
Jesus, this is like the Dark Tower.
Doom, 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 doom.
Their way is blocked by this wagon, which is owned by the Doctor of Discord.
Kind of a shim-sham man.
He likes noises.
Why, I can hardly fill the orders for noise pills, racket lotion, clamor salve, and hubbub tonic.
And opioids.
Honking horns.
Monkey porns? The dog steals a bottle of laughter. Steals it, mind you. Does not pay for it. Dogs don't have money first. Doesn't matter. They get out of there and they go to Dictionopolis.
Hey.
Oh, the king has been looking forward to meeting you. There's going to be a big banquet. Check out the words market. We meet the spelling bee.
And you don't sting?
Sting?
But my sister can. Quilting. She's got lots of needles.
And the humbug.
Humbug and Spelling Bee don't like each other and they get into a fight.
How dare you?
Get him. Get him with the stinger. And their battle was a mighty one. It knocks over all the buildings in the market. Who should show up but Officer Short Shrift?
You again! Guilty of sowing confusion.
Your sentence is police brutality.
I sentence you both to 6 million years in prison.
6 million! He'll be 6,000,010 when he's done with all that.
Don't get thrown in the shoe. And they meet a witch. Oh, the witch.
It's Mrs. Bately. She's a witch, but she spells it different than, you know, the witches that you're thinking, the normal pointy-headed witches.
I was put in prison for running a meth lab.
But when rhyme and reason were banished, when the two kings had their terrible quarrel, I was thrown into this dungeon.
And that's why there's no rhyme or reason around here.
In this screenplay, the king's messengers come, and they spring Milo from prison because he's got to go to that honorary banquet tonight. And there he meets King Azaz, the Unabridged.
Azaz. A to Z, A to Z, got it?
Let me tell you something about King Azaz. He likes words.
You couldn't have one fine day without the day, could you?
But he acknowledges that there's something wrong in the land.
Words seem to have lost their meaning.
The world has moved on.
It would solve all our problems if only you could bring back rhyme and reason.
Yep, me too, humbug.
Before I do that, I better go check out Digitopolis. Someone should accompany you. How about the humbug? He's not doing anything useful around here.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
We just went through the humbug's brain. The door to Digitopolis is closed.
How will we ever get through that?
Well, if I know Chuck Jones, it is by drawing a tunnel on it.
But look, on top, a dodecahedron. And he says you can get through this door by using math.
Can you remember any mathematics?
Let's see.
Fibonacci sequence?
Liberace sequence?
Fibonacci.
It's Fibonacci.
Oh.
Fibonacci series.
Along with help from the dog, the talk dog, the watch dog, and he knocks that barrier down.
'Tis a good thing we knew the Fibonacci series, eh?
This movie started the whole Fibonacci sequence craze among pre-adolescent kids.
Oh, yeah.
It was very prominent in the 70s. The mathematician loves numbers.
You couldn't have one fine day without the one, could you?
Yes, you could, actually. Day is a singular thing. The words guy is right. Can't have a good day without a one.
We'd like to rescue Rhyme and Reason.
Rescue rhyme and reason.
Ryman Reason is my rapper name. Yo, it's your boy, Ryman Reason. Logic is dope. I'm just doing my own movie here on the couch. They are on their merry way. They're traveling through the Suspiria forest. And they see
Chroma the Great.
He's going to conduct the sunset.
Classic Chuck Jones. Hurricanes, tornadoes, smog.
Moonhilda, my love, we...
Yes, I know it. I can't help it.
And he curls up inside his little music bed. Come on, Milo, we gotta go.
I have to wake Chroma for the sunrise.
And the humbug sees a little opportunity for some mischief. Milo, why don't you conduct the sunrise? Milo's gonna totally Sorcerer's Apprentice this. Oh, Milo, full of hubris. He messes it all up. We all know that this is a job for Mustache. He's ruined the firmament.
Now we just got the flashity lights going on and off all the time.
They run into this guy, the senses taker. He's gonna take their senses, including their sense of direction.
Use this bottle of laughter I got from Dr. Discord.
It's no longer a MacGuffin, now it's a useful thing. And that fixes it. There's other creatures.
Terrible Trivium. He's all about busy work.
There are so many useless things yet to do.
There are strings to tie, knits to pick, paper clips to unbend.
Unbending paperclips is not useless. It's the only thing that stops the voices.
The demons of ignorance.
Use your mathemagic. The ignorance demons are driven off by ideas.
Tot, are you all right? He's not ticking.
Just like a clock when a tick and a tock.
You'll have to watch him now.
That wasn't Rhyme and Reason, that was Dr. Dre. Finally, Milo gets to the castle in the air.
Welcome, Milo.
But how do you know who I am?
We follow your blog. We sent you that toll booth.
Because we knew you were bored. We needed a bored boy because he wouldn't care what he did.
But he also had to have courage and curiosity and kindness.
But we took you anyway.
While all this is happening, that old woman is still rotting away in prison.
Rhyme and Reason are unleashed upon the world.
Rhyme and Reason are straightening out the mess I made of the sky.
Boy, I guess actions don't have consequences. The two brothers are reunited.
Time is made the most of now.
Blah, 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 blah.
Milo drives back through the toll booth.
And the toll booth just folds right up and goes away.
Suck it!
Where are you, Milo? Are you still there?
Sorry about that. I've been gone forever. Forever. It's only been 5 minutes, and I just sat here. Listening to the silence.
There's something funny in my bedroom.
It's my boner.
It's a big box.
There's already another problem in the land of the cartoons that Ralph has to go solve now.
And there's nothing that Milo wants to warn Ralph about. If you get into the doldrums, watch out. Milo's gonna go off and enjoy the world.
You can climb a cloud.
Hey, come back here with my kite.
Got him, kite stealer.
Whee! The Phantom Tollbooth. Sense and sanity prevail.
No, they don't, man. No, they don't. I did not like the movie. I would have to say that MGM closed their cartoon division 4 years too late.
Oh, jeez, that's harsh.
Yeah, it is harsh.
It's rare when there's a movie with so much going on and so little going on.
I know. We'll just keep going down the yellow brick road, yellow brick road.
This seems to be the type of cartoon movie that you'd find in the late 60s and early 70s.
This reeks of that time.
It's like Yellow Submarine.
At least Yellow Submarine, and this is gonna sound bad, had drugs going for it. You could say they were doing this for people who were on drugs. Well, this is a children's movie.
Yellow Submarine, Phantom Tollbooth, Zabriskie Point, Weekend. They all came out in the same, 4 or 5 year period. I think storytelling was just broken then.
This is the effect of the French New Wave on American film, where they're like, let's just tear up the rule book.
Yeah.
And sometimes that works great. Sometimes you get the Phantom Tollbooth. It's kind of funny that neither of us read this thing. We were both bookish lads. I imagine you spent a lot of time at the library like I did when I was a
never
kid.
crossed paths with this one.
I saw the book a lot, and I thought, there's a dog with a clock in his chest. Next.
The movie just wanders. There's no plot. And then suddenly in the middle it finds a plot.
Yeah.
We've got to bring Sense and Sensibility back to the land. That should have come out right at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that Milo, even if he's not accepting it, he has a goal. Also, it's necessary for Milo to have this flaw, that he's bored, but also from the get-go it makes him unlikable.
Yeah. And at the end they're like, we needed you because you were bored. Interested kids would be like, a quest? Got it.
They should have made Milo this really creative, interesting kid who just feels like he has to do all this crap all day, and he doesn't get to do the things he wants to do.
A real Milo wouldn't go back and forth through the toll booth 150 times. He'd be like, I'm here. You know how much I love movies that teach you lessons. Which is, I don't love those movies.
It's being sarcastic.
Yes. And this is the movie that teaches lessons using lessons, and yet no lesson seems to be learned.
The lesson is don't waste time, don't be bored.
One of the things that doesn't help it at all is the fact that they feel compelled to make it into a musical, and whoever was doing the music did not know how to make musical numbers. In a musical, you have to understand the words that are being sung at you. The songs would go on to this, and I would just be stuck in the dismal swamp.
Not only that, the sound of the movie is kind of crappy.
Mm-hmm.
The voices are muddy, and oftentimes when they were just speaking, I couldn't understand what they were saying. The movie has 100 flaws, but one of them is not animation. The animation is really astounding in this. I have the best way to watch this movie. You turn it on, you watch Milo going through his dull day. As soon as he goes through the toll booth, you kill the sound, you turn it on, Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon.
I think that's the best way to watch any movie.
Other than animation, and I want you to really think about this, are there any other pros?
When he's walking through San Francisco, they capture some really nice street scenes, like the spinning of the cement mixer, and then you pull out and you realize what it is.
Tona, the cat is licking the crackers.
Oh, kitty, gross.
The cat is licking the crackers.
Can you think of any other ways that you could change this movie to make it better?
Let the threat be known?
Yeah, there really wasn't a threat.
Considering that this gloom had taken over the land, that's something that should be pervasive.
Eventually, this is going to completely destroy everything.
Yeah.
Like the tower is going to fall.
The island dying in Moana, as another example. There's a physical, tangible threat right from the start.
With a film that's so concerned about wasting time, that would add to that urgency.
I haven't always had a clock in my chest, no.
I was a regular dog. And after Rhyme and Reason return to the land, I will become a regular dog again.
Or a clock, I'm not certain.
Maybe one day you'll be bored, and a toll booth will appear in your bedroom, and you're going to need some way to get into there.
Hello? Beep, 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 beep. Yeah. It's some sort of automobile. Hello.
Might be your son's new favorite toy. Nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it is nice. It's nice and smooth. They'll be smashed up in no time.
We have paid the toll and watched the Phantom Tollbooth, and now it is time to take the exit that leads to Seen It.
Abby Boucher writes, I was a big fan of A Quiet Place, although it's not perfect. The ham-fisted use of the whiteboard niggled me. But this was offset by so many handsome sweaters. There weren't a lot of nice sweaters in that movie.
Seen It.
Seen It. I found it properly frightening, and I do like a movie that ends on a new beginning.
I hated it.
You hated it?
I hated it from the first minute.
You did?
And I don't know why. I didn't like the bratty little girl who gets her brother killed. That happens in the first 5 minutes, don't worry. And then she has an attitude about it the whole movie.
Everyone has an attitude about it.
I know. I don't think I like John Krasinski as a dramatic actor.
You don't like him with a beard.
I think he's...
A beard threw you off,
No, it's
man.
not the beard. I think he's built for comedy. And possibly directing. The direction in this is fine. Every scene, I just couldn't stop asking questions like, well, if they can't do this, then how come they're doing it here? And why don't they build the nursery behind the waterfall? And
no, nursery behind the waterfall. That's a good idea.
Devin Brewer, 8th grade. Nothing but great performances, and it really captured what it was like to be an awkward outcast at that age. Seen It.
Seen It.
Bo Burnham and I are kind of peers. We sort of got famous at the same time. He's remained famous. Part of me wanted this to be a bad movie, but he's actually a really good director.
Yeah.
This is another movie I thought I was going to hate because I thought it was going to be about dumb, whiny girls and their phones. But it becomes so much more than that. And that girl who's the lead actress, she was brilliant.
Yeah. When you go into the movie, you think that it's just going to be a series of horrible events to happen to this girl. There's like 400 blows of the 8th grade. Occasionally, he puts in just a spark of levity or a spark of hope, or she has a really good day. The scene where she goes to the mall, yes! Yeah. You're going to be different in just a couple years.
There's layers to it.
Yeah.
It really evokes those feelings that pretty much everyone has had who's been that age. When she's walking through the pool party, and she's wearing her dumpy swimsuit, you can tell that she's thinking, everyone's watching me. And then you, the viewer, can see no one's paying attention to her. And that's life.
Kevin Hogan writes, finally caught Death of Stalin. Fascinating westernized portrayal of the regime. Seen it.
Seen it.
At the end of last year, when the Oscars came along, I did not like any of the movies enough. And then after the Oscars, I saw Death of Stalin. I thought, this is it. This is my favorite movie of this year. This is a movie made specifically for me.
This really should have gotten a Best Screenplay nomination.
Yeah.
It's written by Armando Iannucci, who's behind Veep, and he's a genius.
Yeah.
I don't use that term lightly. He has this portal into mean-spirited comedy that no one else has. It's tough to make that stuff hilarious.
Yeah.
And he does it again and again.
Well, this one actually is Stalinist cruelty, where there's scenes where people are having conversations and walking down hallways. Flash in the background, you see someone being tossed down a flight of stairs.
Yeah.
Or you just know that this parade of people coming out of houses, oh yeah, they're about to be executed. And for some reason, oh yeah, it's funny. And then you're like, why am I laughing at this? It's because he's a genius.
Sure.
Oh, and the scene where they move Stalin's body in the bedroom is just great physical comedy, where they're like moving to the bed, and there's the guy who's like, oh, they're coming my way, and he has to like duck and have a corpse just rolled over his face. And it's funny because they're Soviet leaders and they deserve to have Stalin literally rubbed in their faces.
Name of the Rose. You must see Shoplifters and talk about it. It's divisive in my own mind. Seen it.
Seen it.
It's a slow movie. It's not a boring movie, and it's not a slow-paced movie. But it's so slow. It's a 2-hour movie that feels like a 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
It's about this family of criminals. They adopt a little girl through non-legal means. It's a really fascinating story about morals, because they seem to want to be decent, good people, but they just keep doing bad things.
Yeah.
If you feel like wasting a little time, there's no better way to do that than going to our website, welcometothebasementshow.com. There's every episode we've ever made, and there are PayPal donation buttons. You can click on them and donate to help support this show.
Really? Donations to this show?
Neil, who says, thanks for the laughs, insight, and all the other crazy stuff. You know, the laughs and the insights are all well and good, but I think it's the crazy stuff that I really like about this show.
Yes.
Maybe I've changed my mind. That's better. To find out who the rest of our donors are, to see the exciting contents of our mail crate, you can watch Unboxing, which comes out this coming Friday.
My Quads.
Cartoon June is not yet over. Next time we'll be watching another cartoon. You've chosen a lot of animated movies for this show. You've even done it when you didn't have to. You must really like animated movies.
I do like animated movies.
Why don't you pick the next one we watch?
I will!
Well, you've got that to look forward to, and right now you can watch this.
Boy, I'm in a rut. I need to have an experience with a toll booth.
And a phantom of some sort. We do perfect Butch Patrick's. Watch, he's gonna start talking now. Hello, this is Milo.
Can you remember any mathematics?